All right, how's it going there, y'all? All right, hope you guys are having a good day today. I got about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know that I had a calling to do this video. I saw it last night, and I'm finally able to get to it this morning. And I don't know what it is, but I saw this guy on YouTube. His name is Cedric McMillan, and I'm really heartfelt for the guy. 44 years old to pass away, all right? And he turned out to be a weightlifter, okay? Weightlifter, he is a service member in the U.S. Army, and he was a E7, Sergeant First Class, a drill instructor out there in Columbia, South Carolina, Fort Jackson. And this is an article that really stood out because this guy, he did compete in the Olympia, and he had a lot of preliminary success up to that point. He was sponsored, but doing more research on this guy, it was like what he had to go through to get there. It took a toll on his body and eventually his life. All right, now. The guy looks, healthy if you take a look at, his images and so forth. Healthy. He's a very cut out guy, okay? Massive individual, okay? But inside, and he even attested that he was basically sick. He didn't feel like he was big enough, okay? And although outside he looks good, but a lot of those weightlifters, they have a lot of inner flaws, okay? A lot of those guys are sick, okay? All right, health-wise, that they lose a lot of weight, and they have to gain a lot of muscle, okay? They don't eat for a while, and they load up on proteins and things like amino acids and PEDs and so forth. And yes, he was a candidate of PED use, okay? Now I told you though, he died at 44. The thing is, when you get about 40, you build, well, for one thing, you lose testosterone, and that's what a man needs to be able to maintain his energy and so forth. But you also gain a substance called cortisol, all right, if you do extensive workouts and so forth. You cannot do those workouts when you're probably pushing 40 like you did when you were 20 and 30. Cortisol is kind of like a poison, all right, almost, but it is like a toxin that puts a lot of strain on your heart, your stress and strain, and that stress and strain on your liver and your organs, okay, when you try to do all that excruciating weight training, all right, that's not the word I want to say, okay, but you cannot train the same way you did when you were younger. Now, this is something that could have been prevented, according to other weightlifters that I saw on podcasts and so forth. That he could have been he could have had a more classic build at about 240 pounds and still competed against the Olympics. In the Olympia, all right? But he decided to put on the weight to pack up to get about 300 pounds just to get in this competition. And he still didn't win, but he was a fan favorite. But at what price? Okay, the man was survived by his wife and 4 children. All right, and the doctors were warning him to try to quit or to try to have a more classic build. Okay, the guy had been weightlifting probably since he was like 13 years old, and I do think that there were probably other ways. Like when you get that age, you should consider, and if you train the gentleman, you should consider probably doing more lightweight and with more reps to get the cut that you want and more cardio and so forth, okay? But I do think that this is something that could have been prevented. And, he had the natural build or whatever, the natural size, and he had super genetics. And I'm just telling you that from my experiences, back in the day, maybe 20 years ago, I got into a short period of lifting weights and so forth and wanted to do a little bodybuilding myself along with basketball. All right, I got up to about 280. I'm about 240 now, but I could tell you it was putting a lot of stress and strain on my heart and also my vitals. And along with that, you need to changing out your workout there, gentlemen, if you're approaching 40, okay, to lighter weight, more reps and cardio, okay, you need to probably cut your meals and focus on more vegetables and stuff like that, and meats and all that, because that cholesterol does put a lot of stress and strain on your heart and, you know, different organs of your body, the liver and so forth. I want to just say rest in peace to the man, okay? But I could tell you, these weightlifters or whatever, that they look good, but they're really not. They don't feel good at all. Okay, I know that for a fact. Look at those guys, Ronnie Coleman, okay, or other athletes that use PEDs and so forth. Okay, these guys end up dying early. Plus, it affects your reproductive system. Okay, makes your balls and all that shrink. Okay, impotency. So look up the effects or whatever, what these PEDs do. Be mindful of your workouts. I just told you the way you need to work out and so forth, and get your blood checked and so forth, okay? Your vitals, particularly when you are pushing 40 or if you're over 35. Let this be a cautionary tale, okay? Let me know what you think about the video. Feel free to subscribe, check out some other videos, and thank you for your time.